Hello everyone. Today I have decided to start a new YouTube channel. Now, the reason I have decided to do this is I can no longer sit idly by and watch as my side of the political spectrum, the left, goes, for lack of a better wording, to shit. Over the last couple of years, the left has gradually shifted into a deluge of crying, whiny, and bitching SJWs, and it's time to stand up against this ridiculousness and bring the left back to its rightful place as the political beacon of liberty, justice, and egalitarianism. So without further ado, I'd like to get into my very first video. I hope you enjoy. So today, for my first video, I'd like to talk about what I consider to be the anal sphincter of the universe, Saudi Arabia. Everything that comes out of that disgusting shithole is simply sickening, and I'd like to address some of the ridiculousness that comes out of that revolting place. So the UN has elected Saudi Arabia to its Human Rights Council overseeing women's rights recently, and I cannot help myself but to point out just how stupid this is. Saudi Arabia has a long history of oppressing women. It is the most patriarchal, misogynistic, hateful country in the entire world. It is actually the only country in the world where women are forbidden to drive motor vehicles. A top Muslim cleric has even come out and said that driving hurts women's ovaries. So here we can see that this place doesn't value science either. Women who do not wear the niqab, which is an Islamic headwear for women to cover their entire face, leaving only the eyes, are stigmatized by their families and friends. They are not allowed to go outside of their houses without a guardian and without a reason deemed fit by Saudi law. Saudi Arabia implements Sharia law, a set of primitive, draconian laws written by early desert scribes in their Bronze Age fairy tales. Under these laws, women who are raped require 4 male witnesses to testify in court in order to be considered legitimate. Women who fail to provide this evidence are stoned to death. Under Sharia law, apostates, which are people who leave the faith of Islam, are executed. Hands of thieves are chopped off. Adulterers are stoned to death. Public beheadings are rampant in Saudi Arabia. Freedom House has consistently listed Saudi Arabia's human rights record as one of the worst of the worst. Saudi Arabia doesn't hold elections. It is what can be considered a hereditary dictatorship. The same vile and corrupt monarchy, the House of Saud, have been ruling the country for centuries on end. In 2014, Saudi Arabian blogger and religious dissident Raif Badawi was sentenced to 7 years in prison as well as 600 lashes for expressing his non-religious views. The official charges were for insulting Islam through electronic channels. 74-year-old English expat pensioner Carl Andrei, living in Saudi Arabia, is currently being prosecuted with a sentence of 360 lashes for producing alcohol at his home. In 2016, an unnamed Saudi man was sentenced to 2,000 lashes and 10 years in prison as a result of his atheistic and anti-Islamic tweets. And just by the way, atheists are considered terrorists in Saudi Arabia. LGBT laws are far from recognized in Saudi Arabia. Homosexuality is usually punished with corporal or even capital punishment, usually by stoning or hanging. And the list goes on. To me, a very modern problem regarding Saudi Arabia is the billions of dollars that the US gives in financial and military aid to this country per year in exchange for oil. Do you understand how much money that is? While the left is too busy with their hysterical comparisons of Trump to Hitler and making an enemy of Russia, a country that could easily provide them with the oil they require, the billions of dollars worth of weapons that the US provides for Saudi Arabia are being used at this very moment to massacre civilians in Yemen. If Saudi Arabia disappeared off the face of this earth tomorrow, no one would bat an eye. Actually, no, I take that back. The whole planet would be in celebration. The sooner this carcinogenic, oozing boil on the face of this earth is removed, the better.